sword and it's just quite thick but not really weak.
Mine's got like a fork here, and it's got like Hugo said, a handle, and it's probably going to give it a bit more support since they're kind of not all straight.
They're playing poo sticks at the very same stretch of river that A.A. Milne imagined Winnie the Pooh dropping his sticks. But it isn't the same bridge that the stories were set on. It's a replica. So, what are the rules?
When you drop your stick, no throwing, and you've all got to do it at the same height. And also, the other rule is all do it at the same time. 1, 2, 3, go!
Before we find out who's won, it's time to go back to the beginning of the story.
They dropped their sticks in when Rabbit said go, and then they had all hurried across to the other side of the bridge, and now they're all leaning over the edge waiting to see whose stick would come out first.
It was in the house at Pooh Corner, published in 1928, that Winnie the Pooh first played the game of poo sticks. And this is the original bridge built in 1907 that inspired A.A. Milne to dream up poo sticks which he would play on the bridge with his son, the real-life Christopher Robin. The bridge had become so worn out that in the late 1990s it was dismantled. For years, the wood was left in a pile before being finally rescued and reassembled in this field in Kent.
Well, it had been taken down by the health and safety whoever's and just dumped in a pile in the forest. And I mean, covered with a sheet of material, but obviously it would rot away. And someone's got to do something with it, and unfortunately it fell to me.
1, 2, 3, go!
Back in the forest, Evie, Hugo and Freddie now have a result of sorts.
I think Hugo won, or might have been Freddie's one, and mine might have drowned again. I'm not sure.
Zoe Conway, BBC South East Today.
Brilliant game. Now, it's Wednesday, so that means we're going to have another chance for Sara Thornton to put a village or hamlet on the map. This evening, Sara is in East Sussex in a place named after one family. Over to you, Sara.
Yes, indeed. And it's pretty chilly out here. The sun just starting to set. But what a lovely little village this is. Punnetts town, not a town. Yes, it is a village. You know, we've been doing On the Map for more than 20 weeks now. Some weeks it's a story about a piece of architecture or a building. Sometimes it's about art. Sometimes it's about a historical event. The best, in my opinion, are the ones about real people or families. And tonight, it's the story of two families. Outside of Heathfield, on the way to battle, lives the small village of Punnetts Town. It sprang up at the intersection of three manors, growing rapidly from the 16th century. But the name Punnetts Town didn't appear in official documents until the turn of the 19th century. A visit to the local churchyard brings the Punnett name up again and again. It was in the mid-1700s that a blacksmith named James Punnett moved to the area, and his growing family of mostly carpenters began to build. But today you'll be hard-pressed to find any Punnetts in the village. Many of the males emigrated to America, and the name died out.
Hello, Sarah.
Hello, how are you?
How nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
But you will find Punnetts in New York State, and a lot of them. Victoria Punnett has spent years researching her family to find out where her unusual name came from.
I never met a Punnett I wasn't related to. My great-great-grandfather left Punnetts Town and came to Rochester, New York in 1842. He had a brother, but there were the only two males in the family. There were 7 women in the family. So, of course, they all married and then no longer had the Punnett name.
But the Punnetts are not the only name repeated in the gravestones. The Dalloway family were the millers here for 4 generations. There also aren't many Dalloways left. Many of the men were bachelors. But we've tracked down one of the last, Michael, a cherry farmer from Kent, and are taking him and his mother to see the family's Blackdown mill. And for all of us on this visit, a surprise. We find that the mill is now privately owned by a distant relation who relishes the opportunity to meet long-lost cousins and show us Dalloway family artefacts, like this Bible.
It was presented to John Dalloway by his mother in 1878.
For Michael, the closest he's previously been to the mill is the brass that hung on the wall when he was growing up. Family stories brought to life.
This is my great-great-granddad Demas Dalloway, who was the original owner of this mill in the 1850s. And yeah, my mother reliably informs me that this was the flour scoop that got the flour out of the mill that was his originally used, yeah, back here 170 years ago.
The Punnetts and the Dalloways, 2 families to whom this village owes its name and its industry, and the stories passing down through generations. I could have spent a lot longer telling you much more about those 2 families. Lovely to give you a little snippet of both of them though. And great to hear that Michael Dalloway is going to just carry the story of his family through to his 2 sons, and the Dalloway name will live on. Now, I did say, again, exactly like I did a week ago, it's pretty chilly out here right now. It's even colder this week than it was last Wednesday, but we do have some lovely weather in the forecast. Let's take a look at the headline for the next few days, because yeah, it's going to be a chilly one tonight for sure, and a bit of cloud around tomorrow, but actually the thing is that it's going to be quite warm, and the reason is because we've got the remnants of what was once Hurricane Sam moving in through the night tonight. A lot of cloud, a little bit of patchy rain. Before that though, the temperatures as low as 4 or 5 degrees. They're really plummeting right now, the temperatures. And then tomorrow a cloudy start, but we've got tropical air with us, and as we go through the day, the cloud will start to thin and break a little bit, and we'll get our temperatures easily up into the high teens, but with a bit of sunshine could be even higher, 20-21 Celsius. And then it's mist and fog that we do have to talk about for the next few mornings. As we go through Friday though, we'll do better for sunshine eventually, and those temperatures again easily into the high teens, if not a bit higher than that. Here is the fronts chart. You see you've got high pressure out towards the south and east, drawing up some warm air. There are fronts further north and west. Mostly they don't trouble us too much, except for a little bit of patchy cloud here and there at the weekend. So yes, a very, very cool feeling start first thing tomorrow morning, but then the cloud is with us, that tropical air is coming in as well, and the temperatures from tomorrow for the next few days certainly well above average for the time of year. As I say, we could get some breaks in the cloud tomorrow afternoon, and certainly on Friday the potential's there for 20 or 21 Celsius and still warm at the weekend. Autumn bites back though next week. It will turn much, much cooler, Natalie.
We'll enjoy it while we can. You go and warm up, Sara. Thank you very much. That is it from us for now. Chrissy will be here with you later. Bye-bye.
This is BBC One. Now, a party political broadcast by the Conservative Party.